up, guys? Welcome back to More Labs. We got Mr. Mike back again today, so you can hear me a little bit better. Here we are with the crew over here taking a smoke break.
No.
You're not a mechanic if you don't smoke.
Hey, I just say no.
And I'm not a mechanic, I'm a tuner. So here we are with my truck. And what are we doing to it today? Well, we're going back to on motor. We're putting on some headers. So we took off the on3 turbo kit so we can install these new headers that we got here. Hey, Gracia, why don't you show the people our new headers for our truck? So you see we got the on3 kit off already, and we got these new fancy shorty headers right here that we got from Daylight Performance and our new Daylight Performance kit. So we're gonna show you guys some tips and tricks on how to install this kit. Wipe it down, wipe it down. So this is the new Daylight Performance kit. It's fucking badass. It's a high quality kit, and this is on all the fastest F-150s that exist have this same kit that we're putting on the truck right now. Let me guys show you a little bit on the on3 kit, which I've had resprayed. So here's the on3 kit from my truck. I got it resprayed, it looks good. Let's go ahead and unwrap it real quick. Magic unwrap. And this is the on3 header. As you can see, it looks a bit different than our Daylight Performance header. So I believe this is even the wrong side, but whatever. So let's put them next to each other so we can get a side-by-side look. The on3 kit did great for us. We got to run a 870 at 158, which is faster than any All Motor Labs header that exists. But here is the on3 log style header, and here is the Daylight Performance tubular style header. Clear and distinct difference between the two. Now supposedly this kit right here will make us quite a bit more power at the same boost level, and we should be able to rev it quite a bit higher than we did with this log style header that you see here. So that's what we're gonna see later on in the video. We're gonna put this kit on now, and I'm gonna show you guys some little tips and tricks to get it on, because truth is, installing a turbo kit is not as easy as installing your regular bolt-ons. It's quite a bit more difficult. But let me take care of this tune real quick coming in, and then we'll get back to this. This is the tricky part. We're putting the header in, and it's not like your on3 kit, and it's not like your regular long tube headers where you could come in through the bottom. You have to go in through the fender well like this. So if your kit is powder coated, not like mine, you're gonna wanna make sure that you leave it wrapped, just like that kit over there is wrapped. You leave it wrapped on your way in so you don't mark up your nice powder coating that you just paid for. So you see there, fits pretty nice. So next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna slide in your gasket. And we reuse the factory gasket. There's no like high performance, super special gasket. We use the factory gasket on these trucks. So he's starting this bolt over here. Oh, my camera. In the corner to hold the gasket in place, and then to hold the header in place. I'm gonna hand him this another bolt for the other side, and you're gonna do the other corner. Now these bolt holes, they're pretty pretty tight, so they pretty much only fit one way. And I think on the newest kits, they're a little bit looser. You got a little bit more room to be able to tighten those bolts. So there it goes. Now it's being held in place somewhat by these two header bolts, and basically just need to drive in the rest of them. And it's not too hard. So I'm gonna lift it up a little bit for him.
I'm gonna lift it up, and we're gonna run it in the bottom so I can hold it.
Unlike on the on3 kit or your regular long tube headers, these bolts are actually somewhat easy to get to, aren't they?
They're somewhat easy to get to, but since every hole on the header is a slit, it's not like an actual hole. You have to hold it every single time, every bolt hole, so it can be straight.
Yeah. So it'd probably be best to go ahead and tighten like 3 bolts while you're holding it, and then those 3 bolts will hold the rest of hold the header in place while you put in the rest of them. Because they're slotted, like you see, they're slotted there, and it's not just a hole. And here on the passenger side, it's a similar process. As you can see, we got the up pipe and the down pipe done on this side already. But it's a similar process. You got to come in through the fender well to get that header in, and then you go ahead and start tightening your bolts. Unlike your average long tube header install, you don't have to lift a motor to get the passenger side in. So that's pretty cool. That's a little bit of time savings right there. Guys, big reveal. I got my turbos polished and then clear coated over it with Cerakote instead of painting them purple this time around, just because I thought it'd go with the truck pretty good. But yeah, so one thing you want to do whenever you're putting this up pipe on, you want to make sure that this pipe going to the wastegate is level, and then that will line up your turbos pretty nicely so they're not all over the place. On the On3 kit, there's a million different ways you can do it, and they all technically work, but then you'll have something knocking on the steering shaft or this over here, just clearance issues wherever, and then there's got that one perfect way that it goes that doesn't touch anything. Versus on this kit, it kind of only fits one way, which is pretty cool. So the all the flanges, pretty much, they're only level one way. You can't really move it around too much, which is great, because that gives you less time fidgeting with bullshit and more time getting the kit together. So this is pretty much the whole hot side right here. So you got the up pipe, you got the recirculating wastegate deal down into the down pipe, and it looks pretty fucking good. So next step is going to be the cold side, and we already have our intercooler on. So one thing you notice here, we don't have the grill shutters, and I haven't had those since 2019. So you need to get rid of those grill shutters so you got space for this big old intercooler that looks wonderful. It bolts on right here. I don't have the hood latch on. We're gonna put it on whenever we're all done, but the hood latch goes right here, and that's where your intercooler is gonna bolt to. And then to do that, you're gonna have to take off the whole front end pretty much. So my truck is pretty modular in that all this stuff isn't really bolted on, because I take off the front end pretty often to do stupid stuff like this. But take off the front end, so take off this guy right here, take off your grill, get rid of those grill shutters, and then your intercooler fits pretty easily, and it's pretty fucking sturdy compared to the On3 kit, which has these little pedestals, which I don't like too much. I always made me nervous, but I haven't had a problem with it, but it's made me nervous. One thing you're gonna notice here as well, this is my AC line. This is a On3 AC line, and it looks like it works fine. The stock one works fine too. I'll show you a video of Mondo's truck, which has the stock AC line, and it fits fine as well. So this is a stock AC line, and it fits right here under the turbo pretty easily. So that's not needed on this one, so you don't have to worry about that. Another thing we're gonna do here different, you see this is my main engine harness. Instead of running it around here with this DEI, we're gonna leave the DEI on there just because. We're gonna cut a 90 right here, and I'll show you we're done, and we're gonna route it out this way, and it looks quite a bit better. What else we got here? Whenever you're doing the up pipe, you wanna get these brake lines on the inside of the up pipe, not the outside of the up pipe. This way they're not touching this up pipe and giving you a chance to burn down your truck. So yeah, run them on the outside, on the inside right here, in this space right here, and it fits very well. What else we got going on here? Let me show you this while we're here too. So you're gonna have to take your timing cover off, which I don't have that in this video here because that'd be quite a bit too much work that we don't need to do. So you need to take your timing cover off. If you haven't done that job before, it's relatively time consuming. You take off your valve covers, your intake manifold, and whatever, and then all your accessories here. You're gonna take off this timing cover, and that's when you're gonna weld in your bungs. So I already have some return line bungs welded into mine. These are the ones that come with the kit. You're gonna mark off where they fit. So they fit in a special place right here in between the serpentine belt. So you need to make sure that you know where you have clearance. You're gonna basically put it right there. Make sure that you have clearance. Mark your spot where you're gonna drill a hole and weld them into. And this one right here is in between this line here. See if you can see it. Let me get some light. All right, so you should be able to see it a little better now. So you see it's right there in between the serpentine belt. Just mark that off and drill and weld your bung right there. Now, next step, we're gonna go ahead and finish bolting up the hot side here, tightening it up, lining everything. Another tip here that you're gonna have to do is, this is the center section of your turbo. You're gonna have to clock your turbos. So you see these bolts right here that are on turbos. When you loosen them, you can move it around. So you can move around the housing like that. You can move around the compressor on this side pretty easily too. So you want the inlet and the outlet on the bottom to be straight up and down, right? Like I have it right here. You want them straight up and down, and then you're gonna run your feed and your return. It comes with these, they look like 4 AN lines that you're going to run. You're gonna make your lines and you're gonna run it from the oil filter adapter. So there's an oil filter adapter that has a outlet to provide oil pressure to the turbos. And you're gonna run it to this regulator. It says in and out right there, this regulator, focus. It says in and out. In is going to come from the adapter, out is going to go to the turbos. It's going to tee off into these AN lines, which you're going to have to make yourself some AN lines. If you don't know how to make AN lines, this probably isn't the job you're going to want to take on in the first place. But you're going to have to make your own AN lines, and you're going to run from one turbo to the other turbo, make it as clean as possible, right? And then you're going to make the bigger AN lines. Those are going to be the returns from the bottom of the turbo to our return bungs right here, right? And that's going to be how you plumb the oil link system of your turbos. Let's see what else we got coming up next. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and finish bolting up the cold side, the hot side, and so on and so on. And then I'm going to show you guys the plumbing. I have I'm talking about the boost and vacuum plumbing. I have a 4-port Mac valve and a e-boost too, so I'm gonna show you guys how I plumb that as well. Thing I recommend, leave this bubble wrap on your cold side because it's super easy to scratch up. So just cut it a little shorter like that. This way it stays on the cold side and you got room to put the boots on it. All right guys, we're getting close to wrapping this up. So as you can see, we rerouted the engine harness here. Instead of coming around under the turbo like I did before, we cut this 90 here, ran it up to here. We cut this little I don't even know what to call that. There's a little shield for these harnesses, right? So it can bend this up a little higher, get it far enough away from the hot side here. Rewired some of my watt box stuff to go up this way versus coming around this way. Routed this coolant line and this vacuum line that I had on the outside of the turbo so that we got room on the inside of the turbo here for the oil return. And let me lift up the truck real quick. We got my oil feed line here. We made a new line with the regulator going to this T, and we reused the on-3 lines going to up to the turbos. Now you will get your own AN lines that you can make and make them however you like. I just had these on-3 lines already, so we're just gonna reuse them. That's where the blow off valve is gonna go if you didn't know. But yeah, we're almost done here. We just have a little bit more plumbing to do and then wrap up the wheel wells here. We're gonna have to trim the wheel wells, I believe, for this part of the header. Yeah, I also have to relocate. I'm going to have to relocate my transcooler, which I had it right here before. It's not gonna fit there now because that's where one of the charge pipes goes. We're gonna relocate it right here. We still have some space right here in the grill insert to put my transcooler. But yeah, it was good. All right guys, the kit's almost done and it's looking phenomenal. So we got our cold side pretty much bolted up now. We got our feed lines here running to our oils. We just need to run the return and then finish the fuel, whatever. So there's a couple things left. We got our hot side all lined up on this side. This side's not lined up too well. I need to clock it this way a little bit. Yeah, she's looking great. Really loving the way it looks. I can't wait to turn this thing on. Here's something that is a good note for you guys. So this is the transmission harness, and one thing that I want to do, if you want to extend these are your O2 sensor plugs. They go to your O2 sensors, right? Your upstreams. We're going to use those guys. Instead of extending these, cutting them and rewiring them or using a extension on them, you can actually cut this wire back. So this is the transmission side and this is the motor side over here, or not motor side, this is the ECU side. You can open this loom up and bring these wires as far back until it gets to like this point right about here where it looms into this other piece. And this should reach to the top of the turbo kit. Let me show you guys. Should be able to reach to where you can put your upstream O2 sensors on the top side of the turbo kit, and you can plug in your O2 sensors. Man, that shit looks good. That looks amazing, dude. It goes pretty well with these silver painted valve covers I got, giving that nice look to the truck that I really like. Obviously, it's normally a lot lower than this. Right now, we're on the lift. The lift's bottomed out, so whenever we take this thing on and off the lift, we have to use a jack. So, yeah, we're pretty close to the finish line here, and then hopefully we get to dyno it. That's probably gonna have to be in the next video because this video is already getting pretty long-winded. It's already getting pretty long. All right, guys, we're about wrapped up on this build. Let's see what we got going on under here. So we relocated our transcooler. Oh, you can't see shit under here. All right, let me see the light.
I need it.
Look at this. Boom. So we relocated our transcooler here. We're gonna clean up some of this lines that we see because it didn't fit where it used to fit. So we're all pretty much wrapped up. We'll go to the top side here in a second. We have our feed line there. Got our little blow off valve. See, she's wrapped up now because it's nice and clean. The thing I didn't show real quick, this is how the bottom mounts of the intercooler goes. And it comes with some nut certs that you put in there. So you drill a hole and put the nut certs and it works pretty well. This thing is fucking sturdy. That shit's not moving at all. And I like that a lot versus the On3 kit with the little pedestal mounts. I wish they would add some reinforcement there. I mean, maybe, like I said, I never had any problems with it. Maybe on this truck I will, because this truck I'm putting that On3 kit on, and I do take this truck off-road and do stupid shit with it more than this one. This one's mostly a smooth ride type of thing. So let's bring this thing down and show you guys the top. There she is. That shit looks good. Looks real good. Now this is I'm pretty happy with this install. I think it's a pretty clean install. This is as far as I would go on my personal truck. Obviously, more time you spend on it, the cleaner it'll probably be. But this is as far as I would go, as far as cleanliness of the install. Like I said, right here, we ran this engine harness back and up that way. As you can see, we have our 4-port MAC valve plumbed in. So the top fitting on the MAC valve goes to the top of your wastegates, and the bottom fitting on the MAC valve goes to the bottom of your wastegates. Make sure, 100% make sure, you do not plumb your vacuum into this water port. That's a water port. That's to cool the wastegate. Do not plumb into that. You'll get a shit ton of boost and you'll blow your motor. So you'll see there's a little sign there. It looks like the water symbol from on your dash. That's the water port. Do not put vacuum to that. Make sure you're on the right side, the actual vacuum side, because you put it there, you'll get infinite boost. I know a customer to have done that. What else under here? That's mostly everything. So I think we're ready to go ahead and start this thing up. All right, guys, we're ready for the cold start, very first start. See how these 64, 66s sound. Do us a favor and go ahead and rev it a couple times. He fits, I don't. She sounds good. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Next time we're going to put it on the dyno, and then maybe after that we'll start hitting the track with it. Again, we're going to try to see if we can go just as fast as we did before with less boost, hopefully. We're going to be running 1/8 miles only pretty much because 1/4 mile is too far. And I already ran my 8, so I kind of don't care anymore. Next video we'll hit the dyno. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're planning on doing this install, it's not an easy install. It's not installing a Whipple. It's not installing headers. Take some time. It takes some good time to do it, and it takes some good time to do it right. We'll see you guys next time.